Robotic process automation. In the service industry today, this is a shortcut for efficiency, for accuracy, and for speed. But just a few short years ago, it was just an emerging concept, an idea that was poised to revolutionize the back office. The coming of the robots promised to automate all of those really mundane tasks and free us up to concentrate on the important stuff. And it seems that it's delivering on its promise.
My co-author and I have been studying the delivery of business services for 25 years. Over the course of our collaboration, we've published 25 books together, and our most recent one is Service Automation, Robots and the Future of Work. We typically talk about the triple win of RPA. There's benefits for the organization, benefits for the customers, and benefits for the employees. For the organization, I think one of the most astounding figures we had was the rate of return on investment. Across our early adopters, the lowest one-year rate of return was 30%, and the highest one was a triple digit. And that's astronomical. You don't typically see those kind of high ROIs in other technology implementations. So when you have human beings doing a lot of repetitive work, they get tired, they make mistakes. But with an RPA software robot, it will do exactly and execute exactly how you told it to. So we saw that compliance really increased. For the customer, they get better service quality. Their services are more accurate, they get them much quicker. We also see instances of their customer journeys being enhanced, making their lives a lot easier. And then of course the biggest surprise for us was the benefits to the employees. They really embraced their software robot. They saw them as team members, they saw them as enabling them to focus on more value-added work and letting the whole work unit be much more flexible and effective.
The research by Professor Lasseter and Professor Wilcox clearly validates the benefits of RPA, while at the same time it pours cold water on the idea that it heralds an uncertain future for human workers. But as RPA becomes increasingly prevalent and as more and more companies adopt it, a new question arises. Are all robots created equal?
I'd like to describe the service automation landscape by using an analogy. The analogy is the three-lane motorway, three-lane highway. In the slow lane, number one would be screen scraping technologies, where you just record what a human being does, and at some stage, if they need to, they will just press a button and the task will be carried out in an automated way. Fairly limited, can't scale to enterprise level, but assisted automation. The second lane, a bit faster, is where you get a user application interface that's very friendly, but you have to have IT developers who populate that. Very rich and costly in terms of IT resources, quite time expensive. The third lane is the fast lane. It's enterprise safe, it's non-invasive, it matches the security needs of the organization, and it can scale to enterprise level. So it's very powerful, high-performance robotic process automation tool.
So there are fundamental differences in the robotic automation processes that are out there. The three-lane highway is truly up and running. But it can be difficult for businesses to know which application will suit them best, which approach to RPA will be the best fit for their organization. New York is home to an emerging pioneer in robotic automation, the world's largest custodian bank.
The challenge in deploying automation at BNY Mellon is that it needs to operate across a large, complex business. We have a long list of systems here. They process and facilitate a large number of financial transactions on a daily basis. We introduced robotic process automation into our automation ecosystem for a variety of reasons. It introduces a new solution that's not only nimble, but controlled. It's scalable, but it's also relatively inexpensive to implement.
For BNY Mellon, this approach to RPA provides the right features across a range of areas, from scalability and security to customer and employee benefits. But ultimately, who is responsible for RPA in an organization? Is it IT, or is it the business? Or maybe, is it a bit of both?
I think for us it was not a real difficult decision. We wanted the operations, the business people to really own this. They're the closest one to the problems. The solutions that we get with the RPA can be generated within 4 or 6 weeks. That's very, very different than big enterprise solutions where it takes technology a much longer period of time. It's also the distinction that we make between above the floor and below the floor. Above the floor are those things that work on the user interface. The below the floor is the places where our technology department operates. Those are those big pipes that lay underneath the subflooring, where the applications, your mainframes all reside. That space that needs to be protected and secure. So we are very much responsible for developing solutions, but they're making sure that it fits within the ecosystem itself.
So we've come such a long way in just a few short years. Robotic process automation is already providing significant advantages, but one thing is abundantly clear: not all robots are created equal. Each one has its own advantages and limitations. And it's only the ones in the third lane of Professor Wilcox's motorway that are truly capable of providing a scalable, manageable, and enterprise-worthy way of building an army of robots. An army that is delivering on the promise to free up the time for us to do the jobs that require the thinking and the judging. To free up the time for us to be more human.